Good evening, everyone. My name is Eric Benjaminson, and this is IES Ve-Ware. An overview for tonight's presentation: what it is, what it does, how it works, and pros and cons. First, we'll start with what is it. Ve-Ware is an energy analysis tool. It's free annual energy and carbon usage plugin or program for Revit and SketchUp. Now, what it does: it calculates annual energy consumption and annual CO2 emissions. It also calculates against the US benchmark 2030 challenge. Now for how it works. When you open up the Revit program after installing the Ve-Ware plugin from IES, if you click on the Add-ins tab at the top of the Revit program, you'll be prompted with this toolbar. You have the option to import model, Ve-Ware, which is the simulation that you would want to run, the VE toolkit, virtual environment. Both of those you need activation keys for. Settings, this allows you to change your settings for your model. Help and guidance, and then the IES website. To start using Ve-Ware, first you're going to want to use the import model function. You'll click this and it will start running and importing your model into the Ve-Ware software. And this is setting up the properties to run the simulation. This box gives you the option to choose which building type. So I've chosen the hotel, and it also allows you to choose what heating and cooling systems you'll be using. Next, we'll pick our site location by clicking on the three dots on the right hand side. This will bring up the selecting site location box. In here you can pick from region of the world, states, being that I've chosen the US, and then cities that have data from that state. After this, you'll click OK. It will then bring you to a model room check, which allows you to check if you're missing any square footage from your room or your building at that. Here it shows that I have missing ceiling as well as a hole in room 1, which is the lobby area of the hotel. Next, to run your simulation, after it's imported, you'll click on the Ve-Ware. And what this does is it starts running the simulation and goes day by day and runs a sequence for whatever your location is that you've picked. And the output is shown here. I've done Mankato, Minnesota first. The proposed building energy use is 8,656.75 million BTU per year. Its proposed building carbon emissions is 972 tons per year. At the bottom here it shows the 2030 challenge. This design of the hotel does not meet their plan to be 100% zero carbon emissions by 2030. Next, I ran a simulation to show the difference between regions of the United States. I chose Houston, Texas, being that it's a warmer climate than Minnesota for the majority of the year. and it came up with the energy usage of 5,501.24 million BTU per year, and then 799.8 tons of carbon emissions. Again, at the bottom, it shows the design challenge for 2030. It does not meet it. And here I have compared the results from my two queries that I ran, Mankato here and Houston. And then I took the difference in energy usage, and building this hotel in Minnesota would have 150% higher energy usage rate, and it would also have 115% in carbon emissions. Some pros and cons. The process of getting the Ve-Ware to properly recognize your model is a little tricky. I tried it about 30 times before I was successful in getting it to give me a report. The average time that I found to do this whole process was about 30 minutes. And then some pros, it had few steps involved, they were just lengthy, and the readouts I found were very. And this image in the lower right hand corner is an image that I took from the Ve-Ware website, and it shows the progression that you'll make going through the software and getting your final output. So it starts with building geometry, setting your location, defining your construction materials, press a button, which is the Ve-Ware button in the add-ins toolbar. Then it runs its analysis, and finally it spits out the results. And next we have the Ve-Ware website where the software can be found. And this concludes the IES Ve-Ware presentation. Thanks.